Hello guys and welcome to part 3 of our Barclays Premier League preview. In this episode we are now going to focus on Crystal Palace and Everton. So we're going to be analysing and previewing their forthcoming Premier League season. And today I have Michael
Hello.
and Tom
Hello.
who will be discussing with me the key aspects of both teams' season. So we're going to start off with Crystal Palace, the Eagles. Pardiola is their manager. Alan Pardew, Pards for short. What a man. Tom, you really like Alan Pardew, don't you?
Yeah, he did.
And you're a bit of a Palace fan, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a Palace supporter, but I mean, I want to see him do well, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for Palace.
I think everyone does because of Pardew.
Yeah.
They're everyone's second team, I think. I really like Palace. I think my great-grandma supported them, so it's kind of running in the, or part in the family. But yeah, Crystal Palace, I really hope they do well. But they have made three signings, or three major signings this summer. Patrick Bamford on loan from Chelsea, Alex McCarthy from QPR, and Johan Cabaye from Paris Saint-Germain. And that is the mega signing, massive signing for Crystal Palace.
Yes, I think Cabaye could do so well. During the Premier League, he's got a point to prove, I think, after not playing much at PSG. I think he left Newcastle as definitely their best player, and Newcastle were really hurt by that loss. He's such a good player in the Premier League, and hopefully he can regain that kind of form that he was in before he left. I mean, I don't see him tearing up the Prem straight away just because he's had kind of a season where he hasn't played as much first team football. But he's not been away for the Prem for too long. It's only been a season. And I think he's under the same manager as when he left, and that's always going to be a help. So
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a mega, key player for Palace. And I imagine he's going to be... I don't know. I feel like Palace are going to be one to watch again. That they've surprised in the last two seasons, and I feel like they could do it again.
Yeah. Oh well, Cabaye was Newcastle's star man in that Europa League, or the fifth place finish in 2011-2012. So Palace fans will be definitely hoping the same, or maybe even or a little bit worse than fifth would be remarkable. But they want Cabaye to hit the ground running, and same with Bamford, because it's a gentle step up. He's been League One, Championship with Middlesbrough last season, and now he's got his chance to test his skills and in the Premier League.
Yeah, just touched on Bamford there. Like, obviously, I've watched him quite a few times last season, and like, I wouldn't say he got like the world's best like work rate, but he does the main job of a striker, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. He knows where the goal is. He's obviously, they have a lot of attacking options now. They've got Gale, Murray, Bamford. Obviously, Wickham might be coming in the next couple of days, and I think that with obviously Balassi, Zaha on the wings, got Cabaye, Jedinak and Punchin in the midfield. They're really pushing for those for them top 10 places, and the strikers like Bamford will be relishing off having Balassi, Zaha and Cabaye, obviously creating chances for them to score, really.
Yeah. Certainly. Yeah, they've got a lot of good players, like you said, Punch and Jedinak's such a solid player. He's really the core of the side, captain as well, and takes most of the set pieces. But the only thing that I worry about Crystal Palace at the moment is the defence.
Yeah, well, I think Suarez is not the most solid.
I think he's very good attacking.
He's very good attacking.
The clips I've seen, he's very good at attacking, but his defensive work is
he's not
bit
the
off.
best. Joel Ward was a brilliant fullback from last season, much better than Suarez was defensively. But I think we've also got Scott Dan, who's just brilliant in the defence last season. I'd say he was their best defensive player.
Oh, he was on verge of getting an England call up. Apparently, Robertson was looking at Scott down quite a few times.
There was a few times he's been linked with other clubs, like some of the bigger Premier League sides have looked at him. I hope he doesn't go because I think he's really good for Palace. To be honest, I think Palace need another kind of centre back to bring in, because at the moment they haven't got one player they can rely on as well as Scott Dan. I think, but they've definitely improved their goalkeeping positions with bringing in McCarthy from QPR in this transfer.
Yeah, they got 3 good keepers: McCarthy, Speroni, and Hennessy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this will signal the way out for Hennessy, or maybe Speroni's announced that.
Oh,
he's
I
retiring
hope
soon.
Speroni doesn't go. I love Speroni.
Yeah, I don't think they'd sell Speroni, but perhaps he's said to them in 1 or 2 seasons he's planning on retiring, so they
Maybe.
thought they'd better go in early. It's only a suggestion, but I don't know. I hope they don't lose Hennessy, because I think Hennessy could be a good future keeper for them, but at the same time I think he'll want to be aiming for first team football somewhere, so perhaps he won't feel like that's possible with McCarthy in the squad. But overall I think they've got a really good, I mean, the midfield's just insane with the players that they've got. I think their attack, is improving, and there's been talks of them getting Connor Wickham. So I think if they improve that back 4, then I think they could definitely get top 10 easily.
Oh, it looks like Glenn Murray or Dwight Gale will be on their way out of the club if they do sign Connor Wickham, because then they'll have a lot of Connor Wickham, Bamford, Campbell, and then Murray, Gale, and Shamak's still at the club. So that's 6. That's 6.
They'll sell at least 2 from that.
So they would definitely sell 1 or 2.
I think they'll send Gale out on loan and then Shamak sold.
But let's get on to our predictions for Crystal Palace. Tom, I'll start off with you.
I think 10th.
Michael.
12.
Tom.
Tom
Tom
thought that Palace were going to finish 12th as well.
Oh, I feel like I've been a bit generous, but I really do think Palace will get this Palace side firing. I'll put 9th.
Well, I was just going to say I made a little table a couple of months ago and I put them 9th, but I think since then I think Stoke have done really well. Swansea, I can see them finishing above Palace as well, so I think 10th seems relatively realistic.
Fair enough. Tom, fair enough.
What's the final position we're going to get Palace in our Premier League
11th.
table? You think 11th?
Oh, well, I've got 9, but you've got 12? Who's got 12?
Coleman 12.
You and Conrad 12th. I had 10th.
So we'll go 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
11th stairs. Let's move on to our second club, and it's Everton. Arch rivals of Liverpool. Anyway, they've made 2 significant signings. Gerard Deulofeu from Barcelona and Tom Cleverley from Manchester United on a free. Matt is still, in my opinion, he was very good for Aston Villa in the last 3 months of the season. But they had a very poor season under Roberto Martinez, only finishing 11th last season, and they were struggling. They were 15th, for a good part of the season, and they had a little good end to the season, and they pushed up to 11th.
Yeah, I think they were on such a poor run. I put down their record from the end of November to 9th of March. They had 2 wins, 5 drawn, and 9 losses. So
certainly not a good record for a good club like Everton.
That's right bottom of the table kind of form. They had a really poor, 3 or 4 months, and.
But I think it didn't help with the Europa League commitments that they had, and they were the furthest. They weren't the furthest for English teams in Europe last season, so that Europa League does have an effect on teams with their league form. So there was no surprise for me that they didn't have a brilliant season. and Martinez, but beforehand, when they finished the season, and they knew they were going in Europa League, he said, I need 7 or 8 players because I need a big squad for Europa League. But
Yeah.
it just seemed like they didn't have a massive squad, and had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, well,
Baines was out, Jagielka was out, Stones was out, so they're struggling for for players really. So
I think
I think they'll have a better season this year.
yeah, well, in the upcoming season, without the commitments of Europa League, they're going to be. I think they'll find it a lot easier, you know.
Certainly.
And Deulofeu coming back, he was a
Oh, it's great, wasn't he?
good
When
young
he's
player.
Loads spell.
Yeah, when he was at Everton on the loan spell, he was brilliant, and I think bringing him back will be a huge boost to the team. And you know, I mean, he's only going to develop more. And I think if they keep hold of Stones and Coleman, who have been both linked away, I think they're probably, they're definitely going to improve on last season's performance.
But I think one of the major disappointment factors, or disappointment for Martinez and the Everton supporters, was for the performances of Romelu Lukaku. Obviously, of course, they broke their transfer record with signing him. I think it was 27 million in the end. But he just didn't. I don't know. He didn't really. He had a loan spell beforehand, but he just didn't start firing until end of the season. But he was very good in Europa League. It was terrific, but he just couldn't do it in the Premier League for some reason. But I think he'll have a very good season this season. I hope so for Everton fans. Michael?
I think I've got a question. Like if halfway through this season, let's say Everton are outside like the top 10, you've got a question whether Roberto Martinez's job could potentially be at risk, because obviously under David Moyes they were consistently getting in the Europa League, and after he's come in, they've had quite a poor season. They did better 2 seasons ago, but I don't know. I think that he could be potentially in danger of getting sacked.
Well, I think Everton were consistently in Europa League for when Moyes was in charge. In his early...
I know, but there's no denying they were like a better team.
Oh, in his early years, they were fluctuating from 6th to about 15th. And I think Everton's budget is quite a small budget compared to the teams like Tottenham,
Yeah.
Tottenham, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool. So they've done very well to establish themselves in that kind of top 6, top 7, top 8 with their budget. And it looks like Bill Kenwright is willing to put in money to the club. And he trusts Martinez with the money, because obviously with the signing of Lukaku last season of 27 million, it means shows that he's willing to trust Martinez with money. Maybe this season he might not, because obviously Lukaku's season wasn't brilliant, and 27 million is a lot of money for one player. Could have spent 27 on 4 good players, I'd say. So maybe a bit controversial in that, but I think they'll have a good season. As Tom said, they won't have too many games, which helped Manchester United last season, particularly with just playing 38 league games and a few cup games. They didn't do very well in the cups, really. So that really helped their Champions League, and they got 4th in the end. So, but I think, I've predicted Everton to be 10th. Behind Palace.
Yeah, well, we've already got Palace in that 10th position, haven't we?
No, we got Palace in 11th.
Oh, we have got Palace in 11th.
Your memory's absolutely wank.
Alright. So we've got Palace in 11th place.
Sorry. That was really harsh.
It was. We've got Palace in 11th place, and I'd actually predicted that Everton were going to come 11th.
Ooh.
So I'd say Everton.
I said 10th.
I'd say Everton will probably
What
come
about
10th. Colm said that Everton would finish 9th.
Oh, so we're not that too bad. Like, we haven't discussed any of our predictions, have we?
No. So
They're quite confidential,
but I mean, we seem to be in the same ballpark for all of them
which
so
is
far.
always quite good.
But yeah, it shows we're thinking on the
I
same.
bet we won't be for a few teams though.
Yeah, I
Liverpool,
suspect.
first place, Tom, first place.
You what?
Liverpool, first place. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league.
Well, my prediction where Liverpool
Whoa,
were going
whoa,
to
whoa,
come
whoa, Tom, Tom,
was
Tom.
significantly lower.
Hey, Tom,
is
Tom.
what I was going to say.
Hey, don't gift viewers behind the curtain, right?
No, no, they can.
They have to
Sneak peek.
wait and see. Sneak peek. Oh my goodness.
Everton go 10th in our table.
And now we go to our final part, or not, final segment of our reviews. It's Michael. He's going to introduce us. Go ahead.
Yeah, so today, the players we think you should sign for your fantasy football team. We've got from Everton, we've got Jagielka, you can buy for 5.5. He's quite solid in the defence. He scored quite highly last season. Lukaku, you can get for 8 million, who obviously didn't have the best of seasons last time. But I think he'll improve this season anyway. From Crystal Palace, we've got Balassi, who obviously ended last season really, really well, and Kabay, the new acquisition from PSG. So we'll be hoping he can perform quite well in the upcoming season.
Merci, Michael. That's it for part 3 of our Barclays Premier League review. Be sure to check out our other videos in this preview. We'll have part 2, part 1 done, and then we're up to part 10, or we're going to part 10, doing 2 teams per episode. 2 times 10 is 20 teams in Premier League maths with me. Thank you guys for listening. But before we go, you have to follow us on Twitter, SwitchPlayYT. We normally post some tweets about transfer rumours, transfer news, and keep in touch with whenever these episodes are going out, because they can fluctuate quite a bit because of Tom's disorganisation of stuff.
You what?
You can follow us on Switch TV at SwitchPlay Podcast. We will be streaming soon when Colm gets back, hopefully. But we might have to set that up soon, guys. Anyway, I'm rambling on too much.
Goodbye.
And say goodbye, Michael.
Bye.
That's a bye from me.